Hello. Now, if you were watching my last live, I'm not where I should be. So only those of you who watched my last live will understand that statement. And the reason is I haven't been at all well. And those of you who don't know, I was going to go back to trying to use my exercise bike whilst I was doing my live, because I'm promoting on my other channel how you can find extra time in the day by doing more than one thing at a time. So people say they don't have time to exercise. I'm sure you watch at least one thing every day. So that is time you could do it exercising. And it doesn't mean you've got to have an exercise bike, but you could, of course, exercise if you're sitting, even if, like me, you are very disabled, there are still forms of exercise. And on my dance channel, I'm doing a series there of exercising even from bed. So if you're bedridden, then you can exercise. So that's something I was going to try back into, but no way am I able to do that today. So, and it looks like for the near future also. So sadly, I won't be able to do that, but I'm going to do my best to do other forms of exercise from sitting. So that's something I'll be doing. And I've got lots to do today for you, lots of all sorts of things. And of course, the title is today, Did You Know This? So we're going to be learning things also today. Let's go and check out the comment section before we do anything else. And we have Ethan Jewel Drones. Hello, Ethan Jewel Drones. We have Steve and Tina Jewel, our great moderators. We have Steve and Tina Jewel. Steve saying it's getting cold here. Have to put the heating on. It's boiling hot here. It's boiling hot. Steve says I need to get on the exercise bike. Yes. Are you having physio now? Nice to see you, Ethan. I do know who you are. In case you're wondering, do I know who you are? Yes, of course I know who you are. Guys, go and check out Ethan Jewel Drones. There's bound to be some great videos there. I have just starred your comment so I can go and have a look. And Steve, if you wouldn't mind putting up your bear video. He's just done a fantastic video. They were by a river and it was salmon, lots of salmon in the river. And I'm pretty sure they went there to film the salmon, but they caught on camera two black bears. And brilliant filming, great filming of the salmon as well. But the bear footage, I've been waiting for some more bear footage there, some more bear footage. So Steve's got a lot of work to do now. He's got to put up Ethan's URL, and Steve's got to put up his video. And Steve's done a video. It's actually Steve in the kitchen this time, doing their neighbour, I believe, gave them some mushrooms, and go over and see what he's done with the mushrooms. And me and Steve are having a very friendly race to get to 6K, because as you can see, I got to 5K last week, and we're just having a fun little thing. He's ahead of me, so he should get to 6 first, but we're just having a little friendly thing. And guys, I did put up today my video of my giveaway. It's a great fun giveaway. Go and look at that. There's a video all about that. So there's all that to take a look at. Ooh, what shall we begin with today? Shall I give you news and information first of all? Let's do that. Let's just take my Dawney's live down. I don't feel very live today there, because if I put anything else up on the screen, that will sit there otherwise. So first of all, let me tell you, if you know, there's not a lot of things I can actually eat anymore. One thing I do eat is Mike cooks chicken on a Sunday, a whole chicken. If you've been watching my lives for a little while, you would have heard this story before, but it's happened again. And he cooks a like roast dinner, Sunday dinner, but with a whole chicken. There's only the two of us. And then we have some of that with the Sunday dinner. Then he leaves it on the side to cool. And then we put it in the fridge once it's cooled and use the rest of the chicken throughout the week, different meals, whether it be rice, pasta. I just have it as a salad with some lettuce and some bits and pieces. And we use it throughout the week. Now, do you remember the story before? It happened again. So while it's out cooling on the side, this is totally my fault this week because we know it happened before. Mike puts like a cover over it, as in one of those food umbrellas. He puts one of those over the top. And because it happened before, one of us normally stays in the kitchen and reads or does something until it goes in the fridge. And this time he's having eye drops at the moment. And so I went out after dinner. He lays on the hammock. I do them there. Then he has a little snooze. So I knew he wasn't there. And instead of staying in the kitchen, I forgot and I went in the sun lounge, which is the only room I can do my cross stitch in. I thought he's going to have a long snooze. I'm going to get a lot of my cross stitch done. I forgot about the chicken. And yes, the same culprit, Kit. That is Kit. If you don't know Kit, that is Kit. And Kit got the chicken. I was oblivious. And Mike woke up from his nap. He didn't hear anything. Maybe he got woken up by it. But this umbrella, he came in the kitchen and this food umbrella was on the kitchen floor. And a cat, Kit, jumped off the worktop and went running outside. One half of the chicken has been eaten. Now, luckily, last time it fell on the floor and we had to throw it away. This time it was, you might think this is a bit disgusting, but it wasn't on the floor. It was still on the drip tray that Mike keeps it on. We guarantee he only got to one side of this chicken. So being as frugal as we are, I promise you, he didn't get to the other half. We have half a chicken. So that's something. That's definitely something. And Mike should have been really cross with me because we know this happens. I probably would have been very cross with him if he knew I'd gone off and he should have been there. Just when I just can't be in the moment anymore. I'm just oblivious to things. And yes, so he should be cross. He goes, oh, it happens. I think because last time it was his fault. So this time it's my fault. So yeah, there's Kit. He's such a sweetie. He's the one that nearly died. So I find it very hard to get cross with him. I really do. But if you look at him there, he's now humongous. This was taken, I was filming a Q&A last week, I think it was. I haven't posted it, but I was filming a Q&A and he appears in it a couple of times. And I thought it was so sweet as I was editing it. I pick him up and say, oh, Kit's here. They actually took some screenshots from my video while I was editing it. So that was handy. I could show that to you. So yeah, that's Kit. Let me check the comments. Okay, Steve, can you actually also at some point email me Ethan's URL because I can't take it off of my chat? Or Ethan, if you drop a comment anywhere on my channel, then I'll have your URL. And I've just recently subscribed to John and Sarah's daughter, Lauren. That's Two Doves, Bees and Gardens channel. Their daughter, Lauren, has got a channel she's just started. And that's the @ symbol, Fables with Friends. So guys, if you can go and support that channel, I'll just type that in. Can't give you any URLs from here. I don't know where the @ symbol is at. Oh, it's there. Look, at Fables with Friends. So that is John John and Sarah from Two Doves Bees and Gardens. That is her channel if you want to support that as well. I suppose I could copy paste you actually there. Hold on, I might be able to copy paste you. No, as soon as I hover over it, it just appears a comment, so I can't even copy it. Steve's saying the bears are feeding in the rivers now in British Columbia, Canada. This area is very close to the bears. With a fence on the land. I saw the little fence up by the bridge, but no fence on the river. Not a vegan cat. No, not a vegan cat. And do you remember I showed these feathers? Oh, shoot. Oh, my water's gone everywhere. Oh, my goodness. I'm now sitting in a pile of water. Let me just wipe the bit off my laptop. How did I do that? I don't know. Catastrophe on the live. This, oh, let me take that off the screen. I'll show you. This was full of water 2 seconds ago. This is now everywhere. Oh, look, I've run out of tissue as well. Right, I have a puddle of water on the floor. My mouse is soaking wet. Oh, my cards are wet. Oh, everything is soaking wet. Catastrophe on the live. Where can I even put them to dry? Nowhere. Oh dear, Dawn, dear. It is not my week. Yes, I was showing you these feathers, these great big ones. See how long they are? And I reckon Kit went and got a chicken from somewhere, as in a live chicken, and ate the live chicken. Yes. That one's soaking wet. That's soaking wet. Oh my goodness. Ran out of tissue. I think I'll go and see if I can grab a towel from somewhere. I'll come back to the chat in a minute. Let's do what we got for emergency. Let me see. I will just play you this, but I'll go and see if I can grab a towel. Right, I'm not quite with you. I just did it a second time. Right, I've taken the cushion off my chair because that is absolutely soaking wet, but luckily the chair is not wet. As long as I've wiped off the computer. There's all splashes up on the front of the computer. Right, we've got a towel now on the desk. The desk now I think we're okay on. The floor is so wet that as I walked out to get the towel, I've now got all soaky footprints. But I think the desk is okay. I'm just moving you so I can wipe under the laptop. So excuse me if I just knock you around a minute. I just got to lift up the laptop and see if we've got any water under there. I think we're good under there. I think there. Got a nice clean desk now. The mouse mat is absolutely soaked. That's gone. Okay, there. Let's put that on the floor because I'm in a huge puddle. There. There. Oh, yes. Nice clean floor. Okay, we'll deal with that later. To excuse. The desk is still a bit damp. But let's go to the comments. Right, where were we? I'm hoping my mic wasn't on when yes, the mic switches off when those little clips are playing because there were words. There were words. What have you done? Yes. So basically, I don't even know how it did it. The magnetic board behind that's always there suddenly decided to go forward. It knocked the cup and whatever. As they say, never have liquids by your computer. That was fairly safe. I think just underneath is, yes, underneath is still wet. I'm going to move you over there a bit. I'll deal with that later. Was I saying something prior? I don't know. Like, yeah, it's all underneath. I've got nothing else here now dry. But anyway, I think we're okay. I think we'll be good. Everything's going to be clean. Okay, so now all what I'm going to do is over there. Luckily, all my books are over here. But let's start with this. What am I eating today? Now, you've had purple ones of these before. You've had purple ones. And these are new. Might saw them this week in the supermarket. You've had dark purple ones I've showed you before. These are pineapple with strawberry. Pineapple and strawberry mixed. So one of those is pineapple with strawberry. Nice. Very nice. There. Okay, ketchup. Ketchup. Mike. Those of you who don't know, Mike is my husband. He's been having eye issues. He's always worn glasses, but he's suddenly got eye issues. I'm just paddling. And I showed you some photographs a couple of weeks ago he had done of his eyes, like scientific pictures. And he had an appointment to see someone was being flown in. He flies in, I think, every month. And he was flying in from Greece to see any special things. And Mike had an appointment with him. He's had his appointment, and this guy has said Mike needs 4 eye operations. So he's got to go back on, what day's he got to go back? I forget what day he's got to go back. It's not on my calendar. He's got to go back, and he's got to have measurements done of his eyes, because they're going to first of all do, I forget the order, I think it's cataracts first. Then he's going to have glaucoma, whatever they do for that. And then they said, then we'll discuss everything else after that. Let's just get that done, because without the cataracts done, they can't do any other operations. So they said, we'll sort it out. I said, I hope you asked the important question, which was when he is operated on for these 2 things, what is the amount of time before he can drive? Because we've been told different things from different people. And he said 3 days. So that's not so bad. That's not so bad. 3 days before he can drive, because as you know, I'm not allowed to drive. So that's not an issue. We can get anything done, need to be done prior to that. And that's 3 days after each operation. So he's just going to find someone that can obviously take him there and will bring him back again. So not an issue there at all. And if you don't know, taxi cabs will not drive in our rural areas, so we can't ever get cabs anywhere. So I don't think it's a terrible operation. I'm sure people have these things done all the time. And as Mike said, he's fed up. I do him drops 3 times a day, when he wakes up, after lunch, and before he goes to bed. So I'm doing different drops. He has these creamy drops twice a day, and then lunchtime he has these watery type drops. So I've been doing those. He's bored of having them, which he's not complaining, because people have much worse, but he said, I want to get sorted. So neither of us are that bothered at the moment if it makes him better. Oh, and they, as I say, he's always had something wrong with one eye, but he doesn't know what it is because it was from a young child. I said, well, what is actually wrong with your eye? He said, I don't know. I just thought it was short-sighted, long-sighted. I forget what he is. So he said, I don't know, but there probably was a situation, because he has gone from not having cataracts or glaucoma at all, he's been checked, to suddenly he's got them at these bad levels. And to give you some indication, his bad eye, as in the eye he's always had issues with, has now become his good eye. And they did all these tests on him and discovered his best eye only has 29% function. And I'm like, how are you driving? He said, it's not blurred, or it's not like a danger to drive. He said, it's just like reading. He's got no clarity at all. If I show him, if you now, like you're watching me, he can see it, but he can't see clarity. So if I say, look at those feathers in the background, he probably can't see the feathers to tell you what they're like. But he said, no, driving's not an issue, because they said, no, he was fine to drive, but it's clarity. So he's having a lot of trouble reading and stuff like that. So it's more close stuff, if you like, rather than driving, because I'd be the first person not to let him drive. So that's him. I forget when he's going back for this measurement, but we're assuming this guy comes over to Cyprus every month. We're hoping he will be booked in for the first operation then. And as you know, with those kind of things, they can't do both eyes at the same time. You won't be able to see at all. So he's all right with that. He's had a bad knee recently, which you've probably seen on some of the videos, but no. Steve says, no glasses for me. I can't read the 5K on the wall behind you. You're just pretending I don't have it. As I say, I don't actually wear my glasses very much. You see me more with glasses than not, but I really don't use them very much at all. It's for reading. It really isn't cross stitch. But for watching TV or the computer, if it doesn't involve reading or writing, I don't need my glasses, or as I say, cross stitch. But yes. Okay, so that's the update on him. What else? Oh, let's do this. Oh, it's still very damp over here. Let's do this. Just using my feet to mop the floor a bit more with the towel. The electrics are down there, the sockets bit, I don't think it got over there. And would you believe, I said I walked out and I've made all footprints. It's my room and the kitchen. I walked down there and I've got all footprints. Would you believe I not long mopped the floor? Typical. Typical. Okay, so inspiration and creation. Tomorrow is the beginning of the next month, and on that day I always post on my community post a recipient of my seed giveaway. So the only place you'll know if I've chosen you is to go and look at my community post the first day of every month. You'll see the pictures the same each month, holding seeds in hands, and then it says who the recipient is of the seed giveaway for the month and how you respond if you want the seeds. It's only basically give me your info on my email. Send me your address basically and what seeds you want based on what seeds I say I've got. Now I'm going to look. I first did this. I started, and I've done it every month. I think I've missed 1 month, but I made up for it. I began doing this on the month of August 2022. So that's a lot of seeds I've given away. And by the way, if you don't contact me, then I'll assume you don't want them. So I'm not chasing anymore. I'm fed up with chasing people to give them things. So if you've missed the boat, hey, scroll down all my giveaways. As I say, you'll see the same thumbnail on the community post. And if you see your name, you'll be like, oh, I was offered them and I didn't I didn't go with it. I didn't go with it. So yeah, so look out tomorrow. I've normally got someone planned. Yes, I have. I have someone planned, and it's someone this time who's changed their channel name recently. Ooh, is that you? Ooh, don't be upset if you have and it's not you. So have a look. Oh, thanks. Steve says, I've just emailed Ethan's link. Yes, excellent. Let me see. Steve says, I think you're going to catch us up this week with subs. Do you think? I don't know what your actual number is. I don't tend to look at mine unless I'm getting close to a K or there's an issue. Oh, talking of issues, you know, a little while ago, I had to do things to put things right with YouTube. I had to do things, and it was this copyright that wasn't copyrighted. It's basically I use music I can use, and it says you can use them, no problem, blah, blah, blah. And I kept getting copyright strikes for it. I sorted it all out. One of the same channels has just come up on my dance channel and saying I haven't credited the music. So I copied and pasted into that where I had, and not only had I copyrighted it, I also put the disclaimer in the description under the video to say I can use it. So don't panic when you get these comments. They just randomly have a go at your channel and make out, just in case you haven't. They never actually look. Steve says about 20 away. Ooh. I've got some good videos coming up. I've just done, just edited the next episode on my other channel of my childhood memories. I'm so enjoying doing those, so enjoying. So do check out Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, and it's got its own playlist of my childhood memories. And I've just edited the next one, so I'm going to post that very soon. In fact, it was so long, I didn't use it all for one episode. I've got to a certain point, I think it was 30 minutes. I was like, that's long enough for one of my videos. So it was a nice stopping point at 30 minutes. So I've actually got far more content. So that was pretty cool. So that's my seed giveaway. I think I've done everything that I had to tell you there. Oh, let's do this. I got to look way over there now because my little cards are soaking wet over there, balancing on my bookcase. Let's do this. So Wednesday is my cross stitch, showing you how I've progressed, and I have done a lot, but today is my embroidery. And I'm still back stitching just to make the outline for now, and I've done a lot more. You can see on this chair I've actually slightly changed the pattern on there. If it looks like bits are missing, I have stitched it. It's because the paper's now come on top here. I have done it all. That's why I like to sit and do a whole bit, so I know I have back stitched it all. So I think I might do the back of this chair, get that bit done. It was quite tricky. And then I will do the bits on the table. That's going to be tricky because it's very fine. And then, as I said last time, I don't think I'm going to do the plants and the leaves. I'm just going to embroider plants and leaves when I'm done. I will do that brick wall at the back, and I will do the patio on the ground. Of course, the patio's on the ground on. I will do that. So I think it could be quite a pretty one. I think that could be quite pretty. Oh, your light. I'll come back in a minute. My ring light's all fallen down as well. So everything's just suspended. Not suspenses, suspended. Okay, let's do this. Ooh, today we have in my bird book that we're going through, we nearly finished it. Oh, this is the last one. This is the last bird. Ooh, this is the last bird. So we'll do something new in Let's Look at the book I took from my book nook next time. So the final bird is the jackdaw, which again is part of the crow family. Its length is 33 centimetres, which is 13 inches. It has a grey hood, a bluish sheen on black plumage. You can recognise it because jackdaws are smaller than the other black-coloured members of the crow family, unless they're babies, of course. Steve saying my embroidery looks like our last garden table and chairs. It says the jackdaw is a sociable and entertaining bird. The jackdaw can be seen in many towns and villages where it nests in buildings and old trees. In Northern Europe, jackdaws often roost in towns during the winter, but commute each day to feed in the countryside. Bright button eyes give the jackdaw an air. Experiments have shown that members of the crow family are amongst the most intelligent birds. The voice is a sharp chuk and is familiar contact call, but there's also a chir note that is given in flight. The song comprises of a medley of both. It's an aerobatic flyer. Jackdaws are agile in the air, sometimes performing aerobatics, apparently just for fun. They also have very glossy black wings. The social life. The jackdaw is a sociable bird. Flocks of jackdaws fly and feed with other species, such as rooks, when they can be distinguished by their smaller size and their cries, and with starlings. Mated pairs of jackdaws fly together. If you're not sure of a jackdaw, there's that. There's one in flight. That's a jackdaw. All that glitters. The thief of the bird world steals an earring. Jackdaws occasionally steal inedible objects, particularly if they're shiny for no purpose. Now, doesn't the crow get blamed for that normally? Or no, the magpie. The magpie. Thieves. Jackdaws are notorious for stealing bright objects, especially glittering jewellery. The habit is immortalised in Richard Harris's Barnum's The Jackdaw of Rhymes, a 19th century poem that tells of the jackdaw that stole the cardinal's ring. Feeding. Jackdaws eat all sorts of vegetables and animal foods, mainly cereals, fruit and insects, but they also steal eggs and nestlings from the nest of other birds. They usually feed on the ground and, being less wary, reach food before the larger rooks and crows arrive at the scene and drive them away. They're a ground feeder. Jackdaws search on the ground among stones and logs for a variety of large insects, such as those ground beetles, which are a high-protein food. Bird table. The jackdaw comes into your garden or yard to take a variety of scraps from the bird table or the ground. In the garden, it shows the same enthusiasm that it has when scavenging in the streets and raiding litter bins in parks. Try putting out fat and bones, especially in the early morning when few people are about. Nesting. Jackdaws nest in colonies, usually choosing holes in buildings or tree trunks as nest sites. They sometimes take over old nests of larger birds or build in gaps in dense foliage or even in the chimney pots of occupied houses. The nest may be employed for roosting throughout the year. Both the parents build the nest from sticks, often accumulating huge quantities of them, and line it inside with hair, bark, rags, and other materials mixed together with earth. And the picture shows a jackdaw that will nest in a secluded, large, enclosed nest box. And this is a jackdaw nestling begs for food. There he is. They always look ugly, don't they, when they do that? Birds. Nesting information. April to June, 1 brood, 4 or 5 spotted pale blue eggs, 17 to 18 days incubation, female, 30 to 35 days fledging, and time until independent is unknown. So that is the last of each of the birds in this bird book. And let me know what birds you have in your garden or which birds you wish you had in your garden. I like beautiful colour birds. One of the most colourful birds here is the European roller. So look that one up. That is, although we have birds of other beautiful colours, that's a more common bird that you will see everywhere here. Okay, let's do a bit of this. What gardening you should be doing the first week of October. Now, of course, this is dependent on where you are, and these notes are from England, so adjust accordingly. And it says you should now be completing the potato harvest and turning your attention to carrots and beetroots. Until now, you should have been pulling both carrots and beetroot as required for use and not for storage, but the time has come for conserving your winter supplies. A few general rules apply to both crops. Lift with a fork. They are likely to be firmly embedded in the soil, and if you attempt to pull them, especially carrots, there's every chance that the leaves will break off. You do know you can eat carrot greens, the leaves, and you can also eat the beetroot leaves, so do be sure to use them. Twist off the leaves rather than cutting them. This is most important with beetroot, which bleed if cut. Same with the roots, don't cut the roots off. But twisting is also better for carrots. Allow the crops to dry off on the soil if the weather is favourable. Otherwise, move them into a shed. If you don't have a shed, build one quick. When dry, carefully rub off any soil adhering. Store in layers in a box of sand, soil or peat, preferably in the shed you have just built. If they have to be stored outdoors, follow the same procedure for making a clamp as with potatoes, but make the heap conical. Remember to build individual clamps for beetroot and carrots. If you don't know what some of these words are that I say sometimes, I have got on this channel a whole gardening glossary that I keep adding videos to, and that does have its own playlist. First, cover the crop with straw and then cover that with a layer of soil and make a drainage ditch around the clamp. While most gardeners like to have at least a portion of their crop safely in store, it's possible to leave both carrots and beetroot in the ground where grown until the end of the year, or even longer if in a coastal or sheltered district. However, it helps to cover them with straw in cold weather. Of other root vegetables, any onions remaining in the ground ought now to be harvested, but swedes, parsnips and Jerusalem artichokes can safely be left in the ground until required for use. Many people think that the flavours of root crops is improved by frost. Few gardeners take the trouble to store turnips. If you do, follow the instructions for carrots and beetroot. The quick-growing autumn turnips can be available straight from the garden until Christmas, and the variety Golden Ball can survive all but the hardest weather. With the onset of colder weather, cloches should be placed over any salad crops still growing, except for those intended for spring use. Cloching also simplifies the cultivation of endive when they are ready for blanching. All you have to do is throw a sack or mat over the cloche. At this time of year, blanching will probably take from 2 to 3 weeks. It is not too late to sow winter lettuce outdoors and unprotected for harvesting next spring. Let's check the comments, see a comment flashing. Steve said we ate all potatoes. I love potatoes. I like them in any form. I love potatoes. And in my 5K giveaway, there's a question about potatoes, if you know potatoes. Throughout the summer, pick the freshest and youngest leaves from plants grown preliminary for ornament and add them to salads. Flowers can also be eaten, but the leaves have a better flavour. A root vegetable is Hamburg parsley. When well grown, the root resembles that of a small parsnip, but it has a distinctive flavour. It's a reasonably winter hardy and may be left in the ground until required and is ready for use from now onwards. Gardeners who grow pumpkins for pleasure of producing giants often begin to wonder at this season how to use them. They are in fact quite delicious. Americans enjoy them as a dessert in their traditional pumpkin pie, but other palates may prefer them as a savoury dish. Pumpkins have softer, yellower flesh than marrows and are excellent when cooked with mince, as in a shepherd's pie. There's no reason why seeds should not be saved for next year from the pumpkins. When clearing away debris of spent crops such as beans, cucurbits and tomatoes, keep a watchful eye open for any traces of disease. If you find any, burn the vegetative matter rather than put it on the compost heap. In particular, never leave rotting tomatoes lying about on the surface of the soil, or you'll be laying up trouble for next season. When gathering leaf beet, which should now be luxuriant, put the leaves down and away from the base like rhubarb. Do not cut them. A most attractive variety of sea kale beet is ruby red, which has a deep red stem and midribs and blue-green leaves, and which makes a most impressive display at autumn flower shows and harvest festivals. think there's water dripping somewhere. I can just hear it. Hope it's not dripping in the electrics. If I suddenly go off air, there's a fire, electrical fire. So, things you should be doing in the first week of October. Your vegetables. Sow endive, winter varieties, lettuce, onion, spinach, winter varieties, and your herbs, you should be sowing parsley. You should be harvesting dwarf bean, runner bean, beetroot, leaf beet, cabbage, Chinese cabbage, calabrese, carrot, cauliflower, celery, self-blanching, Brussels sprouts, Hamburg parsley, leek, marrow, including courgette, onion, potatoes, pumpkin, radish, spinach, swede, sweet corn, turnip, and still harvesting parsley. And you should be transplanting spring cabbage and winter lettuce. Of your fruit trees, you should now be able to harvest apple, blackberry, raspberry and strawberry. You should be pruning black, red and white currant, plant loganberry and strawberry. You should prepare the ground for apple, apricot, cherry, peach, pear, plum, all bush and soft fruit. And in the greenhouse, you can sow lettuce, radish and spinach. And in the greenhouse, harvest your aubergines, capsicum, cucumber, melon and okra. And in the greenhouse, transplant your cauliflower. So did you know any or all of that? And if there was something there you don't grow, see if you can give it a go. Steve saying pumpkin season here and Halloween with pumpkin pie. I've never had that. I've never had pumpkin pie, and Halloween in Cyprus doesn't really exist. You might have some expats from England that do something, but Halloween in Cyprus does not exist. Nada. Okay, let me just look over here what number I need. Oh, number 1. I've got a lot of clearing up to do, I tell you. Let's do this. Okay, next hacks, facts and stats. Let's have a look at those for today. Steve saying pumpkin pie is very nice. Send me a slice. Never had it. Okay, so knacks and hacks today's to do with sewing. The first one, don't stick needles through your cotton reels. You know, when we stick it in, stab it in the top of the cotton reel. Instead, stuff the centre of the reel with a piece of foam and stick the needle in that. Or keep a magnet on the table to rest the needle on. Excuse me. Now, a lot of sewers, particularly embroiderers, actually have, I think they're called needle keepers, and you can fix it onto your hoop, you know, your embroidery hoop, and you fix them on, and people have fancy ones. I would like a needle keeper. I don't know where to get one from. I can't order things online here. So if any of you have got spare needle keepers, send me some. They would be nice. And people make them and put fancy things on. So that would be cool. A needle can be threaded more easily if a little hair lacquer or hairspray, starch or beeswax is put on the end of a thread. I just use a needle threader. Steve's saying, I can't read it because we've got something popped up there. Pincushion. Yes, of course, Steve. Pincushion. That's the solution, isn't it? I make my own little pin cushions. You just need a little bit of either fabric or a little bit of like wadding, like cotton wool type wadding, and then just make a little bit of material bag around it. Sharpen a sewing machine needle by sewing through a piece of sandpaper. I didn't know that one. I expect the grade of sandpaper is quite important. And the last one today of these, to stop a needle from breaking when sewing thick material, rub grease down the seam. Be careful. Be careful, you might ruin your fabric. Not so sure about that one. Do these with caution. Okay, let's have a look at this one. This is from my after dinner speeches book, and this one goes like this. My son and I went to the Siberian Railway to China in 1977, and towards the end of our 3-week stay there, found ourselves having dinner in the restaurant of a hotel in the most beautiful city of Hangzhou in central China. It was National Spring Cleaning Week in all China's hotels, and most of the restaurant's furnishings were stacked away in a corner, leaving us with 1 or 2 others sitting in the middle of a large empty space. Soon after we had started our dinner, a party of 10 foreigners came in, closely shepherded by 4 Chinese. They disappeared through a side door. Those people looked to me as if they might have been British, I said to my son. Yes, I think so too, he said, and we thought no more about it. The next day we boarded a train for Shanghai and found in our coach the party which closely resembled the one we had seen the previous evening in the restaurant. I think they look like school teachers, I said to my son. That rather fierce-looking woman must be the headmistress of a girls' school. The man next to her, in all probability, is a teacher in a secondary school, and the tall man doing all the talking undoubtedly is a master in a public school. The train rumbled on, and again we thought no more about it, until, lo and behold, there they were again, at the Air France airplane, going back to Europe, comfortably encosted in the VIP section. During a stop of 2 hours at Peking, passengers were allowed out onto the spacious waiting hall. My son and I were sitting together watching the people when he suddenly said to me, "That man sitting over there, Dad, with his hands clasped behind his back, doing all the talking with the man with him, is the one we thought was the master from a public school. I'll bet you that at any minute he'll rise up and down on his toes several times. All schoolmasters do it. It seems to give them the feeling of self-importance." Within seconds, the man was doing just that very thing. We had proof positive at last. Our judgment had been vindicated. Back on the airplane, and in a curiosity began to gnaw at my vitals. I could no longer resist the temptation to get the final confirmation that our theory was right. So I edged my way along to the VIP compartment to find one seat empty next to a man reading a book. I sat down and said, "Please forgive my intrusion. My son and I have been following the movements of your party for the past 3 days and thought you must have something to do with education and wanted to see if our judgment was right." "Perfectly right," he said. "I am the Vice-Chancellor of Durham University. We have with us the Vice-Chancellor of Oxford, the Regius Professor of Physics at Cambridge, and the Chairman of the British Council." We may have been vindicated, but perhaps not in the way we had expected. Okay, let's go on to this. My feet are very damp on this soaking wet towel. Just, you know. Oh dear, it's still like a lake down here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so let's see what I've got coming up on my other channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. Let's put the ticker tape up so you can see that. There. So that's my other channel, if you don't know it, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. So let's have a little look what's coming up on that channel. So on Wednesday, we will have another in my series of restock with no cost, no buy. So how to get things you want or need with no spend. And also on that, I've got a frugal sofa refurbishment, and you will see the thumbnail will be an absolutely terrible sofa and what I've done with no spend. Today on that channel was posted my dogs moving house, their last play at the old house and a new home and garden to explore. So if you're following my puppy series, then do take a look at that. It's got its own playlist. And then did you catch what I'd been showing on this channel? You was getting my cross stitch that I've now finished. I've started another one on this channel, and I put up the video of the cross stitch project from start to finish as I took photos and sometimes a tiny bit of footage. Each time I completed a section of it. So if you want to see that again from start to finish, do go over there and have a look at that. And I also, prior to that, put up part 2 of my awesome transformation of a really old, tired, faded toolbox that I found at the dump, and how I have really transformed it. I'm so pleased with that. So do go over and look at that. And then let's take a look to finish on this channel, because as I say, I do get mixed up between what I've posted and what I've edited. Okay, sometimes I'd say things to you and I was like, no, I haven't even posted that yet. I've just been editing it. So it just brings it to my mind as well. So today, as I say, I've posted on this channel. Let's take that one off for now. So on this channel, New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus. Today, I've posted my 5K giveaway. Do have a go. And as I say, I think I say it in the video, have a go. Even if you can't do all of it, have a go, because there's 5 prizes up for grabs. If everyone thinks, oh, I can't do that, then you could quite easily win by just answering one piece. But obviously, if people answer more than you, so do have a go as much as you can. It's really fun little quiz all about my channel. So some really fun bits in there. So have a go and good luck to you. I have got 5 prizes up for grabs. And if someone gets all of it right, they will win the 5 prizes. So be quick, email me your answers. You can only put the answers in the email. Don't ruin it for other people by putting the answers somewhere else. And let's have a look, see who does well with that. And then prior to that, I posted on Friday composting, what items you can and can't compost. Now, even if you do composting, have a look at it and see if there's anything you haven't thought about adding that you can add. So have a look, you might be inspired by something else. And of course, prior to that was what seeds are growing, so you can see what's going on in my garden. And on Wednesday, I'm going to take you to the dump where I salvage all my stuff. There's a lovely drive there because, you know, I'm in a very rural area. So just as we come out of my area, I've done some footage of driving there, and you will see the start of some of the things we salvaged from there, some furniture, ooh, and then it will carry on in a part 2 of everything. It was quite a good haul, everything that I got, and there was something I think is worth a lot of money that I salvaged from there, which isn't furniture, so look out for that. And then coming up will be another place I visited recently, and it's walking the monorail. Walking the monorail, Dawn. Yes, it was going to be a monorail and it never transpired. It was actually going to link up all archaeological sites in one area, and it was going to be a monorail where you could get on and off at any time. They only did the first part of it and didn't ever put an actual monorail on the track, and they didn't go any further with it. And they have now transformed it into a walk. So you go up, not high, but a decent amount. And I've done the walk on there, which I've filmed. So you'll see that soon. And places that we stopped when we got off the track, because you can't get off anywhere apart from where it finishes, the first bit where it was going to end. And I've got caves. You'll see a mosaic there, and I've put all the history of what you see in the description, so do take a look at that. My comments are flashing away at me. Yes, Ethan's link is there, guys. Do take a look at Ethan's channel. Do go and have a look at that. And Two Doves is on. Hello to you. And I have mentioned your daughter's channel at the beginning of this live, so hopefully we'll get some more views over there. Steve says, I got a good deal at the thrift store, a nice camp-sized smoker. Oh, I'm sure we'll be seeing that in your videos. I'm sure we'll be seeing that. Two Dove says, congrats on your 5k. Yes, do enter the video that's up today, the 5k giveaway. Nice to see everyone supporting my giveaway. It took me a while to compile the video, so have a go. And there's the link for Two Doves, Bees and Gardens. Okay, so I apologise for today's video, the catastrophe that happened. The catastrophe. I've got a lot of clearing up to do. I've got all my cards that I write what number intro to play. They're all soaking wet lined up on the bookshelf. I'm not going to have my drink on the table anymore. I can't believe all that's left. That whole amount, look, there's a tiny bit in the bottom. That whole amount is now here. And yeah, it is a bit wet under the laptop. It didn't go in the keys, so we're all right there. It could have been worse, I suppose. Yes. So I'm going to go and get some water and clear up this lake. Clear up this big lake that's sitting here. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okie doke. So I'm going to finish there and clear up this catastrophe. Hope you're having a better time than I am. Maybe, see, that's my penalty for not being on the exercise bike. Had I done that, it wouldn't have happened at all. So, disaster video. And thank you for watching. Do check out the channels that are on and their children's channels that I've mentioned. And until next time, thanks for watching. Meraki.